And oh wow, I didn't. They still look good though. Thank God. I left my highlighters like this all day and all night. I meant to put the top back on, but they still look good, so we're good. So today I'm only live on YouTube, and I probably will keep it that way. Let me get something. Might have some future studies going on here in the future. I just asked a guy to help me out with two of them. One might take place live on here, the other might not. I don't know. But hopefully one will, if not both. I'll see. I'll see what we can do. But one of the topics, if I don't know which one we'll do on here, but if any, hopefully we'll get one. Um, one of them is going to be, God willing, how is Jesus and God one? And then the other, now that one we might not do on here, but the other one will be, was was the was it really Samuel that was conjured by the witch at Endor, along with, was it a contradiction about Saul's death? That that one, God willing, we get that one on here. Um, what is this? Oh, the Hebrew. The Hebrew. So in the 20, how many chapters do I have? 25. Oh, she reigns over Israel. It is 25. So, one, two, three. I might be able to read. Well, if I don't finish today, I'll definitely finish tomorrow. So that's good news. And then I'm going to Mark Chronicles. Mm-hmm. Um, did I read that yesterday? Let me see. I think I did because I had that highlighted. There's no way that's highlighted and I didn't read it. I'm gonna assume I read 28 yesterday. 29. I suppose I will start at today. In theory. How many verses do I have left in Genesis 2? Oh, so I can knock all these out right now. Cool. Cool. Okay, so I'm gonna do my Hebrew reading first, and then I'll get to the regular reading in English. So in Genesis 1:29, this is a part of my Hebrew practice, my goal. So it says, Way Amar Al Hayam, which can mean, and he said, or and God said, and then it says, Hana. I don't know what that means. Nath, they, Lakam, Ath, call. I think call can mean every, all. We'll see if I'm right about that. Ishab. Ishab. I might have seen that word before, but I'm not sure what it means. Zakrai. Zakrai, right? That. I don't know. I don't know what that means. Zakrai. Rai is evil by itself, but I don't know what Zakrai is. Mm-hmm. Well, they just gave me a clue. I hovered over it and it said plants. So, but a shark can also mean happy and what. So I don't know how that's being translated in this one. And then the next one is Al Kane, Call, Haaretz, the land, uh, Wath, Call. Yeah, that's probably in every. Yeah, in every. Okay, that's how that was going. So Call must be every. Okay, so that is every. I wish I knew what Pane was. I can cheat. Oh, it didn't give me any. It says face, construct. So, hmm, maybe this is face of all the earth right there. Let's call it again. And this is Ha. That's the final tis, I think. Should be. Yep, final tis. So, Hots. Hots. I know I've seen that before, but I don't know what it is right now. Ashar, Boo, Pare, Hots, Zarai, Zarai, Lakam, Ya Ya, La Kala, La Kala. Mm. God said, oh, see, I have given you every, yeah, I was right about that, plant yielding. Dang, I did not know that. Yielding seed that is upon the face of all the earth and every tree. Dang, that's what ox is. Ox. Okay. With seed in its fruit, pare fruit. Mm. You shall have. That's how y'all. Um, you shall have them for food. Akala, food. I didn't know that. Oh, no, 30. Let's come in. Mm. Okay. So, while the call, I wonder if call separated. Chaya, Chaya, creatures, I mean, or creeping, wild animals, creatures. I think it's wild animals. Hot rats on the land or the earth. There's again, while I call, okay, and there's birds. It's got to be everywhere. So, and it's either and two, every creature or animal, wild animal, or it's either in every wild animal or animals or every living thing. I don't know how they translate that chaya, but then of the land or the earth. And then the next, while I call, I wonder if that's in every Iwak, which is birds, every bird, and then it's Hashemayim, the heavens or the sky. So, in every bird of the heavens, there it is again, Wala call, and every Rumash. What is that? Oh, that's Hebrew grammar. It's just Ramash. Dang, man, I forgot what that is. Let me cheat. There's Hall again. I forgot what that can mean. Oh, they translate that as on. Okay. Oh, that's moving. Ramash moving. So, in every moving, I guess they'll put thing with that if that's on. That makes sense. And every moving thing on the earth. Haaretz. Then we got a shar. I guess that can be translated as a bat. And then we got the boo. Then we got nafash. Is that soul? Is that living soul? No, that's breath. Can it mean soul too? Yep. Living being, soul. Okay. And so let's see, the earth, chayas. Still think that's creature. Oh, it says it can mean life too. Really? Living one. Living alive. Okay. I thought that was the one that can mean animal. Wild animal. Maybe it can. Maybe not. Chaya, Oz, call, every, Yarak. Oh, that can mean green. Aishab, vegetation, plants. So this is green. So every green plant or herb. I just saw this word kala, akala. What is akala? As most likely haya. Was or something like that. And con, so most likely. And to every beast of the earth. Okay, I got the every, and to every beast of the earth. I thought it was like creatures or wild animals, but it says beasts. It's kind of in that category, but okay. And to every bird of the air, and to everything that creeps on the earth. everything that has the breath of life. Interesting. I have given every green plant for food. Oh, it's food. And it was so. Okay, Yara, Elohim, Us, Sawa, Yara. I think this is, and God saw Oth call every, maybe that can mean thing, I don't know. Oh, and God saw all that Aisha, Wa, Hana, Tawab. I know Tawab is good, so I'm thinking it's going. And God saw that everything or all, something was good, I guess. But I don't know what these two would mean without cheating. And then it says Ahmad, Way Hey, which mean was, or something like that. I Rob, forgot what that means. Way Hey, Lakar, blessed, young, day. Okay. So that must be set, I assume. Hash, Hashay, 6. It's the 6th day. Okay. I thought it was 7. God saw everything. God saw everything that he had made, and indeed it was very good. And there was evening, Irab, evening, and there was, oh, Bakar, morning. I thought that was the word for blessed, which is Barak. Oops. The 6th day. Okay, chapter 2. Mm-hmm. 18 minutes. In the 12th year of King Ahaz of Judah, Hoshea son of Elah began to reign in Samaria over Israel. He reigned 9 years. He did what was evil in the sight of the Lord. Yet not like the kings of Israel who were before him. King Shalmaneser of Assyria came up against him. Hoshea became his vassal and paid him tribute. Ibad, slave, servant. Okay. But the king of Assyria found treachery in Hoshea, for he had sent messengers to king of Egypt to King So of Egypt. King So. Um, Check that. And offered no tribute to the king of Assyria, as he had done year by year. Therefore the king of Assyria confined him and imprisoned him. Then the king of Assyria invaded all the land and came to Samaria. For 3 years he besieged it. In the 9th year of Hoshea, the king of Assyria captured Samaria. He carried the Israelites away to Assyria. He placed them in Halah on the harbor, the river of Gozan, and in the cities of Medes. Oh, interesting. This occurred because the people of Israel had sinned against the Lord their God, who had brought them up out of the land of Egypt from under the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. I think that's possibly when the story in the book of Esther might have happened, but I could be wrong. Um, they had worshiped other gods, verse 8, and walked in the customs of the nations whom the Lord drove out before the people of Israel. And in the customs that the kings of Israel had introduced. Am I on 9 yet? Yep. 9. Okay, so it says the people of Israel secretly did things that were not right against the Lord their God. They built for themselves high places. Had to make sure y'all can see that. Can y'all see that? Yeah, y'all can see that. They built for themselves high places at all their towns, from watchtower to fortified city. They set up for themselves pillars and sacred poles on every high hill and under every green tree. There they made offerings on all the high places, as the nations did, whom the Lord carried away before them. They did wicked things, provoking the Lord to anger. They served idols, of which the Lord had said to them, "You shall not do this." Yet the Lord warned Israel and Judah by every prophet and every seer, saying, "Turn from your evil ways and keep my commandments and my statutes, in accordance with all the law that I commanded your ancestors, and that maybe I should get that verse. 13. Okay. 13. Oh, yeah, I was at the part where it says, with all the law that I commanded your ancestors, and that I sent to you by my servants, the prophets. So, wait. Okay, so 13. It says, yet the Lord warned Israel and Judah by every prophet and seer, saying, so right there, I need to highlight that. Okay, 14. They would not listen, but were stubborn as their ancestors had been. I guess I can get that too. Who did not believe in the Lord their God. They despised his statutes and his covenant that he had made, that he made with their ancestors, and the warnings that he gave them. So 15. Okay. They went after false idols and became false. They followed the nations that were around them, concerning whom the Lord had commanded them that they should not do as they did. "16. They rejected all the commandments of the Lord their God and made for themselves cast images of 2 calves. They made a sacred pole, worshipped all the host of heaven, served Baal. They made their sons and their daughters pass through fire. They used divination and augury." What is that? Divine divination. Okay. "And they sold themselves to do evil in the sight of the Lord, provoking him to anger. Therefore the Lord was very angry with Israel and removed them out of his sight." Wow. John, where you at? What verse is that? 18? Mm-hmm. 17, 18. Okay. Therefore the Lord was very angry with Israel and removed them out of his sight. None was left but the tribe of Judah alone. 19. Judah also did not keep the commandments of the Lord their God, but walked in the customs that Israel had introduced. The Lord rejected all the descendants of Israel. Dang. That's interesting right there. Um, he punished into the hand of plunderers until he had banished them from his presence. When he had, let me come down, 21. When he had torn Israel from the house of David, they made Jeroboam, son of Nebat, king. Okay. When he had torn Israel from the house of David, they made Jeroboam, son of Nebat, king. Jeroboam drove Israel from following the Lord and made them commit great sin. The people of Israel continued in all the sins that Jeroboam committed. They did not depart from them until the Lord removed Israel out of his sight, as he had foretold through all his servants, the prophets. So Israel was exiled from their own land to Assyria until this day. Interesting. So until the Lord removed Israel out of his sight, as he foretold on from 22. 22 says the people of Israel continue in all the sins that Jeroboam, and I mean you can send them that, and yeah, give them that too. '24. The king of Assyria brought people from Babylon, Cutha, Ava, Hamath, and Sepharvaim, and placed them in the cities of Samaria in place of the people of Israel. They took possession of Samaria. Okay. They took possession of Samaria and settled in its cities. When they first settled there, they did not worship the Lord. Therefore, the Lord sent lions among them, which killed some of them. Mm, 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 mm. So the king of Assyria was told, the nations that you have carried away and placed in the cities of Samaria do not know the law of the God of the land. Therefore, he has sent lions among them. They are killing them because they do not know the law of the God of the land. Then, then the king. 27. Come on. All right, hopefully that helps him out. I was texting somebody. 27, I believe. Yeah. Then the king of Assyria commanded, send there one of the priests whom you carried away from there. Let him go and live there and teach them the law of the God of the land. So one of the priests whom they had carried away from Samaria came and lived in Bethel. He taught them how they should worship the Lord, but every nation still made gods of its own and put them in the shrines of the high places that the people of Samaria had made. Every nation in the cities in which they lived, the people of Babylon made Succoth Benoth. The people of Cuth made Nergal. The people of Hamath made Ashima. The Abites made Nibhaz and Tartak. The the Sepharvites burned their children in the fire to Ad Ramalich and Anam Malich, the gods of Sepharvaim. They also worshiped the Lord and appointed from among themselves all sorts of people as priests of the high places, who sacrificed for them in the shrines of the high places. So they worshiped the Lord, but also served their own gods, after the manner of the nations from among whom they had been carried away. To this day, they continue to practice their former customs. They do not worship the Lord, and they do not follow the statutes or the ordinances or the law or the commandment that the Lord commanded the children of Jacob, whom he named Israel. The Lord made a covenant with them and commanded them, "You shall not worship other gods or bow yourselves to them." I think I need to highlight that, maybe. Maybe. You shall not worship other gods or bow yourselves to them or serve them or sacrifice to them, but you shall worship the Lord who brought you out of the land of Egypt with great power and with an outstretched arm. You shall bow yourselves to him, and to him you shall sacrifice. The statutes and the ordinances and the law and the commandment that he wrote for you, you shall always be careful to observe. You shall not worship other gods. You shall not forget the covenant that I have made with you. You shall not worship other gods, but you shall worship the Lord your God. He will deliver you out of the hand of all your enemies. They would not listen, however, but they continued to practice their former custom. So these nations worship the Lord, but also serve their carved images to this day. Their children and their children's children continue to do so, to do as their ancestors did. Mm, let's see. It's kind of a weird night. What is that? $18. Okay, I had to write something, highlighting all this other stuff. In the third year of King Hoshea, son of Elah of Israel, Hezekiah, son of King Ahaz of Judah, began to reign. He was 25 years old when he began to reign. He reigned 29 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Abi, daughter of Zechariah. He did what was right in the sight of the Lord, just as his ancestor David had done. He removed the high places, broke down the pillars, and cut down the sacred pole. He broke in pieces the bronze serpent that Moses had made. Until those days, the people of Israel had made offerings to it. Oh, snap. I didn't know that. I got to make a note. So, what's the name of this person? In the third year of King Hoshea, son of Elah of Israel, Hezekiah, son of King Ahaz of Judah, began to reign. He did that. Good job, Hezekiah. Mm-mm-mm. It was called Nehushtan. He trusted in the Lord, the God of Israel, so that there was no one like him among all the kings of Judah after him, or among those who were before him, for he held fast to the Lord. He did not depart from following him, but kept the commandments kept the commandments that the Lord commanded Moses. The Lord was with him wherever he went, he prospered. He rebelled against the king of Assyria and would not serve him. He attacked the Philistines as far as Gaza and its territory, from watchtower to fortified city, in the 4th year of King Hezekiah, which was the 7th year of King Hoshea, son of Elah of Israel. King Shalmaneser of Assyria came up against Samaria, besieged it, and at the end of 3 years took it. In the 6th year of Hezekiah, which was the 9th year of King Hoshea of Israel, Samaria was taken. The king of Assyria carried the Israelites away to Assyria, settled them in Halah, on the harbor, the river of Gozan. It says city and district of Mesopotamia, on or near the middle course of the Euphrates, through which the river Chabor flowed. Okay. I think this goes with, what's that? Tobit? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't mind if I had a Bible that was in chronological order, because my Bible all over the place. The way they, the way they just, you know what I mean? Um, okay. Let me get off the topic. Okay, so it says, settled them in Halah, on the harbor, the river of Gozan, and in the cities of the Medi. Wait, ain't this guy? Oh, what's the one name? His name was, he had a long name though. It's, let me see. That one. Ethan Tobit, but not Esther. Okay. Second Kings and Tobit. And second Esther. So what about, okay, it occurs in Ezra, Esther, and Daniel too. Hmm. Hmm. If I knew that. Greek Esther. Oh, classification too. Okay, that's what I was curious about. Maybe Friday or Tuesday night. Okay. All right. Let me go back. Oh, man. In the fourth year of King Hezekiah, which was the 7th year of King Hoshea, son of Elah of Israel, King Shalmaneser of Assyria came up against Samaria, besieged it, and at the end of 3 years took it. In the 6th year of Hezekiah, which was the 9th year of King Hoshea of Israel, Samaria was taken. The king of Assyria carried the Israelites away to Assyria, settled them in Halah on the harbor of, well, there's the river of Gozan, and in the cities of the Medes, because they did not obey the voice of the Lord their God, but transgressed his covenant, all that Moses, the servant of the Lord, had commanded. Neither, well, they neither listened nor obeyed. In the 14th year of King Hezekiah, King Sennacherib of Assyria came up against all the fortified cities of Judah and captured them. Who did that? Sennacherib of Assyria. All right. Then it says, King Hezekiah of Judah sent to the king of Assyria at Lachish, saying, I have done wrong. Withdraw from me. Whatever you impose on me, I will bear. The king of Assyria demanded of King Hezekiah of Judah 300 talents of silver and 30 talents of gold. Hezekiah gave him all the silver that was found in the house of the Lord and in the treasuries of the king's house. At that time, Hezekiah stripped the gold from the doors of the temple of the Lord and from the doorposts that King Hezekiah of Judah had overlaid, and gave it to the king of Assyria. The king of Assyria sent the Tartan, the Rabsaris, and the Shaki with a great army from Lachish to King Hezekiah at Jerusalem. They went up and came to Jerusalem. When they arrived, they came and stood by the conduit of the upper pool, which is on the highway to the fuller's field. When they called for the king, they came out to them Eliakim, son of Hilkiah, who was in charge of the palace, and Shibna, the secretary, and Joah, son of Asaph, the reporter. The Rabshakeh said to them, Say to Hezekiah, Thus says the great king, the king of Assyria, on what do you base this confidence of yours? Do you think that mere words are strategy and power for war? Or whom do you now rely, that you have rebelled against me? See, you are relying now only on Egypt, that broken reed of a staff, which will pierce the hand of anyone who leans on it. Such is Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to all who rely on him. But if you say to me, we rely on the Lord our God, is it not he whose high places and altars Hezekiah removed, or has removed, saying to Judah and to Jerusalem, you shall worship before this altar in Jerusalem. Come now, make a wager with my master, the king of Assyria. I will give you 2,000 horses. If you are able on your part to set riders on them, how then can you repulse a single captain among the least of my master's servants, when you rely on Egypt for chariots and for horsemen? Moreover, is it without the Lord that I have come up against this place to destroy it? The Lord said to me, Go up against this land and destroy it. Interesting. I don't remember that. That's verse 25. 1825. Okay. And then Eliakim, son of Hilkiah, and Shibna and Joah said to the Rabshakeh, please speak to your servants in the Aramaic language, for we understand it. Do not speak to us in the language of Judah, but in the hearing of the people who are on the wall. But the Rabshakeh said to them, Has my master sent me to speak these words to your master and to you, and not the people sitting on the wall, who are doomed with you to eat their own dung and to drink their own urine? Then the Rabshakeh stood and called out in a loud voice in the language of Judah, "Hear the word of the great king, the king of Assyria. Thus says the king, do not let Hezekiah deceive you, for he will not be able to deliver you out of my hand. Do not let Hezekiah make you rely on the Lord by saying, the Lord will surely deliver us." The Lord will surely deliver us. Mm, mm, The Lord will surely deliver us, and this city will not be given into the hand of the king of Assyria. Do not listen to Hezekiah, for thus the king of Assyria, um, for thus says the king of Assyria, make your peace with me and come out to me. Then every one of you will eat from your own vine and your own fig tree, and drink water from your own cistern until I come and take you away to a land like your own land, and a land of grain and wine, a land of bread and vineyards, a land of olive oil and honey, that you may live and not die. Do not listen to Hezekiah when he misleads you by saying, the Lord will deliver us. Has any of the gods of the nations ever delivered his land out of the hand of the king of Assyria? Where are the gods of Hamath and Arpad? Where are the gods of Sepharvaim, Hena, and Iva? Have they delivered Samaria out of my hand? Who among all the gods of the countries have delivered their countries out of my hand, that the Lord should deliver Jerusalem out of my hand? But the people were silent and answered him not a word, for the king's command was, do not answer him. Then Eliakim, son of Hilkiah, who was in charge of the palace, and Shebna the secretary, and Joah, son of Asaph, the recorder, came to Hezekiah with their clothes torn and told him the words of Rabshakeh. Isaiah. When Hezekiah heard it, he tore his clothes, covered himself with sackcloth, and went into the house of the Lord. And he sent Eliakim, who was in charge of the palace, and Shebna the secretary, and the senior priest, covered with sackcloth, to the prophet Isaiah, son of Amos. They said to him, thus says Hezekiah, this day is a day of distress, of rebuke, and of disgrace. The children have come to the birth, and there is no strength to bring them forth. It may be that the Lord your God heard all the words of Rabshakeh, whom his master the king of Assyria has sent to mock the living God, and will rebuke the words that the Lord your God has heard. Therefore lift up your prayer for the remnant that is left. When the servants of King Hezekiah came to Isaiah, Isaiah said to them, say to your master, thus says the Lord, do not be afraid. Okay. Do not be afraid because of the words that you have heard, with which the servants of the king of Assyria have reviled me. I myself will put a spirit in him, so that he shall hear a rumor and return to his own land. I will cause him to fall by the sword in his own land. The Rabshakeh returned. Okay, so Rabshakeh returned and found the king of Assyria fighting against Libnah, for he had heard that the king had left Lachish. When the king heard concerning King Tirhakah of Ethiopia, see, he has set out to fight against you, he sent messengers again to Hezekiah, saying, thus shall you speak to King Hezekiah of Judah. Do not let your God, on whom you rely, deceive you by promising that Jerusalem will not be given into the hand of the king of Assyria. See, you have heard what the kings of Assyria have done to all lands, destroying them utterly. Shall you be delivered? Have the gods of the nations delivered them? The nations that my predecessors destroyed, goes on, Haran, Razif, and the people of Eden, who were in Telasar. Where is the king of Hamath, the king of Arpad, the king of the city of Sepharvaim, the king of Hena, or the king of Iva? Hezekiah received the letter from the hand of the messengers and read it. Then Hezekiah went up to the house of the Lord and spread it before the Lord. And Hezekiah prayed before the Lord and said, O Lord, God, the God of Israel, who are enthroned above the cherubim, you are God, you alone, of all the kingdoms of the earth. You have made heaven and earth. Incline your ear, O Lord. That's a good one right there. Okay. You made heaven and earth. 16. Incline your ear, O Lord, and hear. Open your eyes, O Lord, and see. Hear the words of Sennacherib, which he has sent to mock the living God. Truly, O Lord, the kings of Assyria have laid waste to the nations and their lands, and have hurled their gods into the fire, though they were no gods, but the work of human hands, wood and stone, and so they were destroyed. So now, O Lord our God, save us, I pray you, from his hand, so that all the kingdoms of the earth may know that you, O Lord, are God alone. Then Isaiah son of Amos sent to Hezekiah, saying, thus says the Lord, the God of Israel, I have heard your prayer to me about King Sennacherib of Assyria. This is the word that the Lord has spoken concerning him. She despises you, she scorns you, virgin daughter of Zion. She tosses her head behind your back, daughter Jerusalem, whom have you mocked and reviled? Against whom have you raised your voice and haughtily lifted your eyes? Against the Holy One of Israel. By your messengers you have mocked the Lord, and you have said, with my many chariots I have gone up the heights of the mountains to the far recesses of Lebanon. I felled his tallest cedars, his choicest cypresses. I entered its farthest retreat. It's densest, if I said that right, it's densest forest, densest forest, I got it. I dug wells and drank foreign waters. I dried up with the sole of my foot all the streams of Egypt. Have you not heard that I determined it long ago? I planned from days of old. What now I bring to pass? That you should make fortified cities crash into heaps of ruin, while the inhabitants shorn of strength are dismayed and confounded. They have become like plants of the field and like tender grass, like grass on the housetops, blighted before it is grown. But I know your rising and your setting, your going out and coming in, and your raging against me, because you have raged against me, and your arrogance has come to my ears. I will put my hook in your nose and my bit in your mouth. I will turn you back on the way by which you came, and this shall be the sign for you. This year you shall eat what grows of itself, and in the second year what springs from that. Then in the third year, sow, reap, plant vineyards, and eat their fruit. Hmm. Hold on. Mm, 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 mm. I think I'm on 30. Yeah, 30. The surviving remnant of the house of Judah shall again take root downward and bear fruit upward. Excuse me. And from Jerusalem a remnant shall go out, and from Mount Zion a band of survivors. The zeal of the Lord of hosts will do this. Therefore, thus says the Lord concerning the king of Assyria: He shall not come into the city, shoot an arrow there, come before it with a shield, or cast up a siege to ramp against it. By the way that he came, by the same he shall return. He shall not come into the city, says the Lord. For I will defend this city to save it, for my own sake, and for the sake of my servant David. That very night, the angel of the Lord set out and struck down 185,000 in the camp of the Assyrians. When when morning dawned, I was excited to get out at 34. Let me highlight all these. Let me highlight all these real quick. So 34. 34. Okay. Got it. Now the angel of the Lord. Uh-huh. 36. The king of, well, morning dawned, they were all dead bodies. Then the king Sennacherib of Assyria went home, and lived at Nineveh. As he was worshipping in the house of his god, Nishroch, or Roch, his sons Adram Melech, and Sharezer killed him with the sword, and they escaped into the land of Ararat. His son Esar Haddon succeeded him. Chapter 20. Oh, Hezekiah taking siege. I'm gonna stop right here. Okay, man, that was good. So chapter 20. So I should finish this tomorrow. I've done the other goal already. Good. Good. Good.